So you're looking to skip the line in life. You see all these people, either your peers or people ahead of you, and you look at their story and you're like, how did they even get there? I don't want to do all this work. Like, I could just fast track all this work and get to the end result now. Like, I need to. Like, I want to be able to, retire my parents, or I want to get this Lamborghini, or I want to achieve this certain outcome. I want to skip the line because I don't want to go through that work. That's how smart people do it. They avoid the hard work and they get other people to do the hard work for them. I don't know. First of all, I don't know any person who genuinely skipped the hard work would genuinely be in a successful position without certain pieces of advantages. Now, this video is not to tell you, oh, you only need to work hard, not work smart, because at the end of the day, there are people who are in a better position with you in the chessboard that you need to understand and how to put yourself in certain positions if you have access to them. If you don't, you should be aware of them, but also understand that, hey, just because they have this certain position doesn't mean that, and it might be a little bit higher than you on the chessboard, doesn't necessarily mean that you are stuck or lost or don't have any hope. So number one you could really realistically look at is nepotism, right? Their parents are able to give them the silver spoon towards anything. Like, you imagine the kids of BlackRock, right? Or Mark Cuban's kids, or any billionaires' kids. They likely you're going to have a much higher upper hand than you right now, who's coming from a middle class, lower class, maybe upper middle class, whatever family that isn't at that position. Oh my God, it sucks. They get all these opportunities. They don't even have to work hard for it. Screw them. They just got born into it. Well, the other half of that is they didn't choose to get born into it. I guess they got lucky. But condemning them is placing blame on them versus you on your position on the chessboard. One thing I consistently try to preach on this channel is you need to take more accountability of every single little thing in your life. You need to get so good people want to be near you. That's another way of getting past the nepotism. Sure, they got a silver spoon, but at the end of the day, people still appreciate the people who work hard to get in the position of that esteemed status. How do I get this super esteemed status? Develop your skill sets. Get good at one thing, two things. Build a business. Become really good at singing, rapping, artist. Become good at one singular skill, or have one thing pop off that people want to come to you for advice or just to be around you because of your energy. It's hard work. You might have to work a little harder than the other guy who got fed to him, but at the end of the day, you want to get to that position, right? So what if it's a little extra work? At the end of the day, the result's the only thing that matters. You just control your inputs, and the outputs will come at you. Simple as that. So you need to build skills to get good. Everything in life is a skill. There might be skills that person who had a silver spoon, let's say financially, had that you have that they don't. Let's say, for example, their parents are divorced. They don't know what unconditional love is. They have parents who don't really show them unconditional love, but you have parents that show you unconditional love. That's a skill. You know how to show affection. You know how to regulate your emotions. They don't. That's a skill. Every little single nuanced thing in your life you can imagine is a skill. It just takes time to develop. It takes practice to develop. People with humility. Oh, you have tons of humility because you may not have the best of background. You appreciate the little things in life. But the people who didn't have the little things in life, they always got everything fed to them. They have a harder time with humility, maybe. That's why you see so many rich children fall off the wagon or get into drugs or just do all this crazy stuff because they sometimes might lack humility or lack self-control because they never had to work hard for anything, right? And that's not to say every single kid is like that, but there seems to be a trend towards that. So understand that there's always a give and take no matter what position you are on the chessboard. So it's never like you are at necessarily a negative advantage because of someone's maybe financial perceived status. Understand that there are other skills that you can develop or you already inherently have that you have an edge on them that you can maybe utilize. It's all just a give and take. And if you want to get to a certain position, just build your skill sets. Other thing is be more attractive. I mean, let's be honest, pretty privilege is a very, very real thing. I'm telling you, like, if a hot girl asked me, like, hey, can you give me $5? I'll pay you back. I'd be much more likely to pay her $5 and trust her than someone who was homeless and looked all raggedy and wasn't as attractive. A simple matter of fact. Harsh reality. I'm pretty sure you would do the same too. Attractive people get more opportunities. There are studies showing this. Babies prefer attractive people. Oh, I'm ugly. I don't know what to do. I guess I'm never getting anything to me. Like, bro, like, you got it. You wake up. Again, I always preach 100% accountability of where you are at the chessboard. Now, understand, you can become more attractive with what you got. Suppose you say you have acne. Okay, let's work on fixing the acne, fix your gut health, handle your skincare. Okay, well, I'm pretty frail. Okay, go to the gym. I'm pretty fat. Go to the gym. I have bad teeth. Okay, well, let's work to it so you can get better teeth. There's always something you could constantly be improving on, no matter what it is, and that includes looks as well. You can always get better looks wise. Like I know I can get better looks wise. I don't think I'm the best of teeth. I think my forehead is massive. I'm definitely gonna be taking a trip to Turkey very much soon. Like it's I'm gonna be honest. I'm not the most attractive person. I believe I'm attractive. Don't get me wrong, and I know I'm a bit attractive, but it does not necessarily mean that I think I'm the most attractive. But I understand where I'm at in the chessboard. And lastly, one thing that, in my opinion, could trump all of it is learning how to communicate. There's a saying. Let's use for girls, for example. There's a saying where guys are drawn to visuals, or guys are drawn to what they see, girls are drawn to what they hear. It's how you communicate, how you present yourself. What kind of energy do you have? What aura do you have? What confidence do you have? Same with business, right? How do you bring across a message in which the other person not only takes the message in a positive tone, but also leads to an outcome that you'd like to have? Learn how to communicate, whether it be tonality, body language, the verbals, nonverbals, eye contact, little things you can constantly be improving on. There's a guy I really, really suggest people watch is Ben Yang, Vinhgiang. Killer. I took his course for Skill Academy on how to communicate better, and I'm practicing it right now. Sometimes I go a little lower, and sometimes to really enunciate the point, I'll point my finger like this, and I'll take bigger pauses. And you know what? I'm still learning. I look back at what I'm doing right now, and I'm like, oh, I could do so much better. You're always a work in progress, but understand that if you want to skip the line in life, you got to understand there are vehicles to get to, per se, skip that line to make people think, how did we even get here? Oh, you're a silver-fed spoon. Maybe some might be, but you got to work so hard, whether it be looks-wise, communication-wise, skill set-wise, that you can also skip the line too, in that sense.